Next, we would like to invite our guest of honor, Ms. Gwenda Fong, Assistant Chief Executive, Policy and Corporate Development of Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore, on stage to give her opening address. Gwenda, please.
Hi, everybody. Very good morning to AISP EXCO members, industry reps, as well as ladies and gentlemen. So first, very good morning to everyone who is here. So like Johnny said, it's really good to be able to see people in person again. But we note that there are people dialing in virtually, so very good morning to those people as well. So first of all, let me thank AISP for inviting me to deliver the opening address for this conference. AISP has been working closely with CSA through the SG CyberSafe Partnership Program to generate greater awareness on cybersecurity amongst the business community by conducting outreach as well as co-developing content for enterprises. Similarly, CSA is happy to support AISP in your efforts to advance awareness and adoption of cybersecurity through AISP Cybersecurity Awareness and Advisory Program. That's something that we are really supportive of. Over the past 2 years, we have all gradually adapted to living with COVID-19 in terms of how we live, work, and play. It has been particularly difficult for businesses to operate in this challenging environment, but many have done well by leveraging technology to continue operating and expanding. As businesses become more receptive to adopt technology, they are also becoming aware of the risks of operating digitally. According to the annual business survey conducted last year by the Singapore Business Federation, 30% of businesses surveyed cited cybersecurity risks as a challenge to digital adoption. And such sentiments are not unfounded. Last year, we observed a spate of high-profile cyber incidents globally, such as the ransomware attack on the Colonial Pipeline in May in the US, the Microsoft Exchange server data breach, and most recently, the Log4j vulnerability that was made known at the end of the year and kept many cyber professionals very, very busy. While many of the cyber attacks targeted essential service providers and large organizations, smaller organizations were also not spared. In Singapore, for example, a local consumer electronics retailer suffered a cyber attack that led to a data breach of their customers' personal details, which was in turn used to blackmail the retailer. In a separate incident, a local eye clinic got hit by ransomware and that compromised the personal data of more than 73,000 patients. These incidents demonstrate that cyber threats are not unique to specific business sectors nor the size of an organization. The implications of cyber attacks tend to be far-reaching. It not only causes disruption to businesses, but could potentially damage the reputation of the organization and lead to financial issues as well. Amongst the business community, SMEs are particularly vulnerable to cyber threats for a few reasons. First, SMEs are typically more resource constrained compared to larger organizations, and they may not have invested adequately in cybersecurity protection as they digitalize. Threat actors have also been quick to capitalize on the expanded attack surface brought about by these work-from-home ecosystems. Secondly, SMEs are also attractive targets, as they may also be used as conduits to target larger organizations and companies or even government agencies. SMEs often form part of the supply chain to government organizations and larger organizations and may be given access to their IT systems and data. So malicious threat actors are thus motivated to penetrate the larger firms' cyber defenses through the SME vendors. So for these reasons, it is all the more important for SMEs to have cybersecurity measures in place. Unfortunately, SMEs are often deterred from implementing cybersecurity measures because it's seen as an operating cost. I would like to urge businesses to view cybersecurity as a differentiator and source of value instead. This is because having strong cybersecurity will not only safeguard your business, but set your company apart from others and boost your clients' trust in your company's offerings. In the longer term, this could translate into economic benefits, both directly from potential growth in your customer base, as well as indirectly from potential cost savings due to the prevention of cyber attacks. However, we recognize that it can be challenging for SMEs to understand and adopt cybersecurity. So allow me to share some strategies that SMEs can consider as you embark on the process of strengthening your cybersecurity posture. First, as business leaders, SME owners need to balance the usability, security, and costs in thinking about cybersecurity. For example, some SMEs which do not provide a lot of online services would obviously not require as much of an investment to secure their systems as compared to, say, an online merchant. A risk-based approach, therefore, helps the business leaders decide on the appropriate security measures needed. Prevention is usually better than cure, so we encourage SME owners to adopt the relevant preventive measures and ensure that their systems are resilient so that they can recover quickly from cyber attacks. To get started with the process, SMEs should first raise their cybersecurity awareness level across the organization, conduct a self-assessment of their cyber posture before adopting the necessary cybersecurity measures. To help simplify cybersecurity and to demystify this whole process for enterprises, CSA has developed a set of cybersecurity toolkits targeted at enterprise leaders, SME owners, employees, and technical teams. We recognize that cybersecurity is at the heart a risk management issue that requires board-level decisions, whether in terms of dedicating resources to invest in cybersecurity or instilling a cybersecurity culture. The toolkits for enterprise leaders and SME owners therefore articulate the business reasons that hopefully resonate with business leaders and owners and drive home the message that it is in the business interest to invest in cybersecurity. Examples of topics that are included in this business leader toolkit include strategy, investment, and how to build a strong cybersecurity culture in the organization. Besides the business leaders, it's also important to educate employees on cyber awareness as they are the first line of defense for organizations. The Cybersecurity Toolkit for employees enables enterprises to use the content as a curriculum to raise awareness and conduct cybersecurity training for their employees. The contents of the toolkit focus on how employees can exercise cyber-safe behavior, such as setting strong passwords and reporting cyber incidents promptly. Cyber threats are also constantly evolving and advancing, so we understand that it can be challenging to keep pace with its developments. The Cybersecurity Toolkit for IT teams aims to address this by providing guidance on how IT or cybersecurity teams should prioritize and find relevant resources. The toolkit will also include technical tools that the teams can adopt, such as tools to conduct a self-assessment of the organization's internet hygiene and tools for incident response simulation. The toolkits that I just talked about and the toolkits for leaders and SME owners and employees are already available for download on CSA's website. So I really encourage all of you to take a look at these resources. The toolkit for IT teams will be progressively rolled out later this year. I mentioned earlier that SMEs can be attractive targets to cyber attackers as they may also be used as conduits to larger companies, organizations, or even government agencies. And this is a major concern globally because the supply chain across industries is becoming increasingly interconnected and complex and reliant on a few core companies. So in view of this, CSA will be introducing enterprise cybersecurity certification so that businesses can leverage such a certification to demonstrate that they have the relevant cybersecurity measures in place and potentially differentiate themselves from their competitors. CSA has been working in close consultation with industry partners to develop a cybersecurity trust mark certification for enterprises to serve as a mark of excellence for those with leading cybersecurity practices. A separate mark of cyber hygiene will also be developed for enterprises that have put in place basic cybersecurity measures. The marks will be unveiled later this quarter. To round off my sharing, I would like to urge businesses, especially SMEs, to take action today and to get started with the journey of adopting cybersecurity. The end of the cyber endemic is not in sight, unfortunately, and cyber threats will continue to proliferate our cyberspace and our organizations, large and small, and organizations will run the risk of being attacked. Yet, it is not a lost cause. I don't want you to leave here, feeling that it's all doom and gloom, because there are things that we can do to protect ourselves as we digitalize. Protecting ourselves from cyber threats is a collective responsibility, and it requires all of us, from the business leaders to the management, down to every employee, to play our role so as to keep our organization cyber safe. So with that, I thank you for your time and attention, and I hope that you have a fruitful rest of the conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gwenda.